Chosen one. This message is intended to be clear and immediate. Think of it as a notification from a higher order, a corrective, precise alignment for the life you have been building. The premise is simple. Something essential in your approach has been misplaced, and a recalibration is now available. This is not admonishment for its own sake. It is an invitation to reposition your thinking, your energy, and your direction, so that what you have been seeking can arrive with less friction and more coherence. For many, life has been a sequence of well-intentioned moves that did not yield expected outcomes. You may have followed advice that felt right at the time, adopted practices that offered temporary relief, or pursued goals that satisfied immediate needs but did not fulfill the deeper purpose inside you. It is a common pattern. Effort without alignment produces results that feel hollow. That pattern, however, is changing for those willing to examine it honestly. The first practical point is recognition. Where earlier commitments were driven primarily by external validation, status, applause, or visible success, there is now a call to center purpose in origin. Purpose here is not an abstract platitude. It is a working principle. Your choices must reflect what you were made to do, not what you think will be noticed. This shift reduces wasted effort and clarifies priority. It simplifies decisions because it establishes a single guiding standard. Does this move align with core purpose? Next, consider the role of timing. Many missed opportunities are the result of acting prematurely or waiting too long. Timing in a spiritual sense is both internal and external. Internally, readiness matters. Emotional clarity, mental focus, and spiritual stability prepare you to receive and steward change. Externally, circumstances must align. The people who support you, the resources that enable you, and the openings that present themselves. The work before you now is preparation for the window that is approaching. Preparation is not passive. It is active refinement. Sharpen skills, clear distractions, and strengthen relationships that matter. Discernment deserves emphasis. Not every opening is intended for you, and not every voice is a trustworthy guide. The capacity to evaluate what to accept and what to decline will protect momentum. Discernment is cultivated through steady practice, quiet reflection, honest assessment of outcomes, and a willingness to test counsel against long-term objectives. It is the filter that keeps energy focused and prevents drift. There is a practical discipline involved in preserving momentum: restraint. Restraint in sharing plans, in broadcasting every small win, and in seeking external affirmation. Oversharing disperses energy and invites interference. Confidentiality around strategic moves preserves potency. Think of your plans like a carefully built engine. Exposing parts prematurely invites tampering and reduces performance. Maintaining discretion is not secrecy for secrecy's sake. It is stewardship of potential. Equally important is the management of inner narrative. Self-talk shapes perception and action. Replace scarcity-based assumptions with a framework that expects constructive outcomes while remaining realistic about effort and responsibility. This is not wishful thinking. It is a calibrated stance that aligns intention with action and acknowledges consequences. When your internal narrative matches the demands of purpose, decisions become easier, and confidence becomes reliable rather than fragile. Relationships influence outcomes more than many acknowledge. As you align with a new phase, the composition of your circle may shift. Some connections will prove supportive. Others will act as anchors. The task is to intentionally cultivate alliances that facilitate growth and to distance from patterns that drain focus. This requires measured evaluation rather than impulsive severance. Preserve what adds value. Reposition or release what does not. Effective relationships are reciprocal. They both give and receive in the service of higher aims. Preparation also includes practical readiness, financial prudence, logistical planning, and skill development. Spiritual openness and readiness do not replace sensible stewardship. Money, time, and skill are instruments that must be managed. Solid systems, budgeting, contingency planning, and structured learning. Amplify the spiritual movement by translating intention into reliable action. A recurring theme in this shift is integrity in speech and action. Speak deliberately and follow through. When words and behavior are consistent, trust grows and opportunities compound. Inconsistent messaging creates friction and erodes credibility. Your influence expands most effectively when commitments are kept and communication is measured. The coming phase will involve three interrelated outcomes: clarity, acceleration, and recalibration. Clarity will make previously confusing decisions understandable. Acceleration will move certain developments forward at a pace that requires discipline. Recalibration will adjust priorities and methods to align with unfolding realities. These outcomes are not random. They are the result of intentional alignment and persistent readiness. You should expect tests. As alignment intensifies, so does resistance. External forces, skepticism masked as concern, and competing priorities will surface. Internal forces, old habits, fear, or complacency will reappear. Tests serve as verification. They reveal whether alignment has depth or is superficial. The response required is steady focus and the ability to apply learned principles under pressure. Tests are not signs of failure. They are confirmation that real change is underway. Decision-making will require both speed and prudence. Some moments will demand immediate action. Others require patient observation. Train your judgment by distinguishing between urgency that signals opportunity and urgency that signals distraction. This distinction is sharpened by practice. Maintain a baseline of criteria for fast decisions: alignment with purpose, capacity to execute, and reasonable risk assessment. For slower decisions, apply the full set of evaluation tools. Consult trusted advisors, use data where available, and consider long-term impact. Another area to address is the stewardship of attention. The modern environment is engineered for fragmentation. Your capacity to concentrate, uninterrupted, purposeful focus is a finite resource and a strategic advantage. Guard it by creating routines that protect deep work time, reduce habitual scrolling, and prioritize meaningful conversations over constant connection. Public figures and effective leaders often credit discipline in attention management as a critical factor in achieving sustained results. Spiritual readiness is not metaphysical isolation. It is the harmonization of inner alignment and outward action. Practices that support this harmonization include focused reflection, contemplative exercise, and deliberate pauses to reassess. Rituals, simple, repeatable acts that center the mind and ground intentions, are effective. They anchor momentum and provide consistent feedback on whether the inner state supports the external strategy. The narrative of correction includes the idea of accountability. Reliable accountability structures, mentors, peer groups, or advisors reduce the risk of drifting into short-term gratifications. Accountability enforces course corrections, keeps ambitions realistic, and ensures that the promises you make to yourself carry consequences. Choose accountability partners who share values and provide candid, constructive feedback. As the landscape shifts, pay attention to signs that confirm movement. Synchronistic meetings, resources appearing unexpectedly, or rapid clarification of previously ambiguous matters. These are indicators that alignment is working. Recognize them without attaching to each as a guarantee. Signs are confirmations. Stewardship creates sustainability. Prepare for practical transitions in stages. Sudden, wholesale changes rarely produce durable outcomes. Instead, anticipate layered shifts, subtle reorientation of habits, then visible adjustment in options, followed by a sequence of opportunities that demand readiness. Layering reduces the shock of transition and provides space to integrate lessons between phases. Finally, learn to steward influence responsibly. As alignment produces visible change, influence will grow. Influence carries ethical responsibility. Decisions you make will affect others, and leadership under this framework requires wisdom and restraint. Use authority to create capacity for others, to elevate systems rather than manipulate outcomes for narrow gain. As Part 1, Part 1 concludes, the immediate task is clear. Recognize misalignments, cultivate readiness, and protect momentum through disciplined practice. You have been prepared by experience for more than survival. You have been prepared to steward a significant phase of development. The next chapter will examine practical tactics to implement these principles in daily life, step by step, and how to navigate the tests that reliably accompany rapid elevation. When you are ready, we will continue into Part 2 to translate this orientation into detailed, actionable steps, a sequence that covers the coming days, the relationships that matter most, and the precise habits that turn potential into lasting change. Chosen one, as the journey progresses, the time for silent preparation begins to evolve into steady movement. The readiness you cultivated is no longer a concept. It is a living energy that must now be translated into consistent and grounded action. This is the stage where awareness becomes direction and discipline becomes the bridge. Between divine guidance and measurable results, every moment now becomes an opportunity to implement what has been learned, to refine the path through deliberate choices, and to live out the very wisdom that once existed only in understanding. The next few weeks are not about grand gestures or dramatic changes. They are about structure, observation, and calm execution. Each day serves as a calibration window, a chance to test your rhythm, review your alignment, and make small but intentional shifts that gradually create major transformation. It begins with simplicity, a steady morning rhythm that clears the mind, anchors the heart, and aligns your priorities. Whether it's through quiet reflection, prayer, or a few moments of intentional breathing, this space reconnects you with clarity before the world begins to speak. As days pass, you start to notice where your attention goes, the way you spend your time, the things you allow into your space, the energy you exchange. All of it forms the ecosystem that shapes your reality. Awareness becomes your first form of discipline. Without judgment, you begin to recognize which parts of your routine support growth and which silently drain it. This simple audit of attention creates visibility, and visibility, in turn, builds control. Once you see where your energy leaks, you can begin to redirect it toward what truly matters. In this stage, fewer commitments are better than many. You no longer need to prove your capability through constant activity. Instead, you refine it by choosing wisely. Every no you give to distractions strengthens the yes you owe to your purpose. The world rewards focus, and in divine timing, focus is the language of faith. As you simplify, you create room for new resources to arrive naturally, without chaos. Financial and emotional stability also play their part here. Being grounded in the practical side of life is not a lack of faith. It is a sign of stewardship, taking a clear look at your current position, reducing unnecessary strain, and creating even a small sense of security allows you to move through the unknown with steadiness. Spiritual maturity means understanding that balance is divine. In the following days, activation begins. It's the phase where clarity becomes movement. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, you start applying what you already know in small, deliberate ways. You might reach out to someone whose perspective you value, finish something that has lingered unfinished, or take one action that embodies the change you've been envisioning. You don't need to see the full picture. Faith grows through action, not observation. When you act, life responds, and with each small action comes feedback. Some steps will open new doors quickly. Others may seem to stall or resist. Both are useful. Both are data. The universe does not withhold answers. It communicates through experience. If something flows easily, it signals alignment. If it resists, it invites reevaluation. This is how wisdom matures, not through constant victory, but through continual adjustment. During this period, accountability becomes crucial. Having one or two trusted voices who understand your direction can make the difference between consistency and distraction. They help you stay objective when emotion tries to lead the way. But even as you seek counsel, remain anchored in your own discernment. Guidance is valuable, but only you can sense the pulse of your divine rhythm. Gradually, the weeks form a pattern. You begin noticing subtle shifts. Certain opportunities start to repeat. Certain people cross your path again. Certain ideas return with greater urgency. These are signals of acceleration. Divine timing rarely announces itself in fanfare. It appears quietly through patterns that echo in your daily life. Pay attention to these repetitions. They mark the openings that are uniquely yours. At this stage, discernment matters more than excitement. Not every open door is meant to be walked through, and not every delay is a denial. Before acting on new opportunities, pause long enough to listen. Ask yourself if the direction aligns with your deepest purpose, or simply your temporary emotion. If it brings genuine peace, even amid uncertainty, it is often the right move. If it brings strain and confusion, it may be a test rather than a calling. Life will begin to test your boundaries in small ways. Some challenges will appear as misunderstandings, unexpected delays, or even minor conflicts. These are not punishments. They are checks of strength. They measure how well your inner foundation can hold when external pressure arrives. Each time you respond with calm reasoning rather than reaction, your stability deepens. The universe refines you not by removing obstacles, but by teaching you how to move gracefully through them. As you navigate this rhythm, protect your energy. Influence and visibility will increase, and with it comes attention from many directions. You are not required to share everything you experience. Wisdom lies in discretion. Keep sacred what is still forming. Reveal only what is ready to serve others. Transparency builds trust, but silence builds power. When you know when to speak and when to observe, you master both communication and influence. In moments of acceleration, the temptation to overextend will surface. The ego may whisper that everything must happen now, that every offer must be taken, every opportunity seized. But divine timing thrives on balance, not urgency. Move forward with precision. You are allowed to expand gradually, to grow sustainably, and to secure each step before taking the next. This is not hesitation, it is mastery. As new relationships and connections form, choose depth over volume. A few sincere collaborations will create more momentum than a crowd of shallow associations. Invest in conversations that challenge and elevate you. Surround yourself with individuals who value integrity more than impression, purpose more than popularity. Each connection should either strengthen your peace or expand your capacity. Anything that drains either is misaligned. Throughout this unfolding, keep watch over your inner narrative. The stories you tell yourself will shape the quality of your movement. Replace self-doubt with self-inquiry. When fear appears, ask what it's trying to protect. When excitement arrives, ask what it's trying to teach. Every emotion holds data. The mature soul learns to translate it rather than suppress it. You are not fighting your feelings. You are refining your relationship with them. As days turn into weeks, structure becomes stability. The rituals you maintain, morning alignment, focused work, moments of stillness, form the scaffolding that supports your expansion. Progress no longer feels like chaos. It feels like rhythm. You start making decisions from clarity rather than compulsion. The more you honor your routines, the more flow enters your life. What once felt like striving begins to feel like guided motion. This season also asks for integrity with promises. Your word becomes currency, your reliability the measure of your authenticity. Every commitment kept builds unseen equity. People begin to trust your consistency. And that trust opens doors that skill alone cannot. In divine processes, Reputation is not built on appearance, but on follow-through. When you act with quiet precision, your presence becomes your message. Financially and emotionally, this is a time to stay steady. Avoid sudden leaps that are driven by emotion. Growth will come, but it must rest on understanding, not impulse. As opportunities multiply, remain grounded in simplicity. Let your choices reflect long-term vision, not short-term validation. Every resource that enters your life should strengthen your foundation, not distract from it. Then, as patterns become clear and confidence returns, you start recognizing the larger design of your journey. The signs, the repetitions, the divine alignments, all of them were not coincidences, but coordinates. They pointed you toward the version of yourself that was always meant to emerge. You realized that divine timing was never about waiting for life to begin. It was about preparing for when life would call you to lead it consciously. This awareness changes how you respond to uncertainty. Instead of anxiety, you begin to feel quiet readiness. Instead of rushing, you move with rhythm. You stop chasing and start attracting, not because you are doing less, but because your actions now carry purpose. The external world adjusts to the stability you've cultivated within. The universe, which once seemed distant, begins to feel synchronized with your inner state. When this harmony deepens, something powerful happens. The chaos of the past no longer defines you, it refines you. The silence you once feared becomes your teacher. The solitude you endured becomes your sanctuary. The lessons you resisted reveal themselves as blessings in disguise. You see that nothing was wasted. Every detour was divine direction. Every delay, a disguised act of grace. This is the moment where preparation meets destiny. The cycle of waiting gives way to movement, but this movement is not rushed or uncertain. It is deliberate, grounded, and sacred. You no longer question whether you are ready, because your readiness is evident in how calmly you act. Divine timing was never late. It simply waited until you were capable of carrying what you once only desired. And now, chosen one, as you stand at the intersection of purpose and opportunity, know that this is not an ending, but an emergence. The world around you will begin to mirror your inner order. Each decision will echo your alignment. Each step forward will become a message of what happens when preparation meets faith, and faith matures into responsibility. Your life now becomes the embodiment of divine timing, not through miracles alone, but through measured, wise, and consistent living. You move not by impulse, but by insight. You speak not to impress, but to illuminate. You lead not to control, but to contribute. And through this quiet authority, you inspire others to trust the timing of their own becoming. There comes a point, chosen one, when everything that was once uncertain begins to settle into place. The questions that haunted your earlier seasons no longer require frantic answers. They dissolve quietly because you have outgrown the need to ask them. You have walked through chaos, silence, acceleration, and testing, and now you stand in the steady light of understanding. The storm did not vanish. You simply learned how to navigate within it. That is what divine timing was training you for all along. In this calm phase, you realize that readiness was never about acquiring more knowledge or waiting for an external signal. It was about cultivating the inner steadiness required to sustain what you have prayed for. You no longer chase clarity because clarity lives within you. The decisions that once felt heavy now feel lighter. Not because they are easier, but because your spirit has become more disciplined. You have learned how to act without fear and how to pause without guilt. This season feels quieter, but it carries profound depth. The noise that once surrounded you, opinions, pressures, doubts, now fades into the background. You respond less and observe more. Silence has become strength. You listen to the rhythm of your own intuition, and within that rhythm, you hear the voice of purpose guiding your steps. You are beginning to understand that divine communication is rarely loud. It is consistent, subtle, and deeply personal. In this awareness, you start to honor your boundaries not as barriers, but as sacred gates. What you allow into your life must now match the frequency of the peace you have built. You no longer feel compelled to explain your stillness or justify your distance. Those who are meant to walk with you will understand it naturally. Those who cannot will simply drift away. The departures no longer hurt the way they used to, because you recognize that alignment often requires separation. You let go without bitterness, trusting that divine timing never subtracts without preparing a greater addition. As you move forward, your focus shifts from proving your worth to protecting your energy. You realize that the true measure of maturity lies not in how much you achieve, but in how consciously you maintain inner harmony while achieving it. You stop rushing to meet every demand and instead allow each task to unfold at its proper pace. The world around you might still move frantically, but you have learned that urgency is not the same as importance. You follow peace, not pressure. This clarity brings a new level of discipline. You handle your commitments with quiet precision, fulfilling what you promise and speaking only what you intend to honor. Your words have weight now because they come from alignment, not impulse. You begin to recognize the power of consistency, how small, faithful actions done with purpose create momentum that no external force can replicate. Every routine becomes a declaration of your stability. Every decision, an act of worship in motion. Financially, emotionally, and spiritually, you adopt the principle of stewardship. You understand that abundance is not measured by how much flows in, but by how responsibly it is managed once it arrives. You make wiser choices with time and resources because you know that opportunity expands in environments of order, not chaos. You begin to discern the difference between growth and overextension, between giving generously and depleting yourself. Balance becomes your quiet wealth. The people who surround you start to reflect this shift. Your circle may have grown smaller, but it is stronger. Conversations now carry depth and mutual respect. You are drawn to those who speak with integrity, who understand purpose beyond appearance. The exchanges you have nourish both intellect and spirit. They are no longer about validation, but about vision. You realize that energy, like currency, must be invested wisely. The right company refines you just as the wrong company can dilute you. Leadership emerges naturally in this environment. You do not seek to be followed. You simply live in a way that inspires others to awaken their own discipline. Your story becomes a quiet example of what happens when patience and persistence meet divine order. You no longer force influence, you embody it. The authority you carry does not come from titles or recognition. It comes from your ability to remain grounded while everything around you evolves. As you continue to build, new opportunities will appear, often without warning. Some will test your humility, others will test your restraint. You will face choices that require courage. Not the loud kind that demands attention, but the steady kind that honors integrity over convenience. In those moments, remember that your peace is your compass. If an opportunity costs you your inner balance, it is too expensive. Divine timing does not rush you into compromise. It aligns you with clarity. In this chapter, you also learn the sacred value of rest. The world glorifies constant motion, but you now understand that creation requires rhythm, work and stillness, effort and renewal. You begin to see rest not as a reward, but as a responsibility. When you pause, you allow wisdom to catch up with experience. You give your spirit space to integrate the lessons you've lived. It is in these moments of stillness that new insight begins to form, guiding your next steps with sharper focus. With time, your internal landscape changes completely. You no longer react to temporary storms. You read them as signals. A delay does not discourage you. It alerts you to prepare more deeply. A closed door no longer offends you. It protects you from premature entry. You have learned that divine rejection often conceals divine redirection. What used to feel like loss now feels like refinement. You trust that every stage, no matter how inconvenient, is an essential part of a larger design. The longer you walk this path, the more gratitude replaces resistance. You start to appreciate the quiet seasons where nothing seemed to move, because you now understand that they were the construction zones of your future stability. You thank the setbacks for sharpening your discernment, the pauses for deepening your faith, the isolation for teaching you the language of your own intuition. You realize that the universe has never been against you. It has always been training you to hold more than you once could. And now, as doors open and momentum builds, you stand differently. Your confidence is not loud, it is lived. You no longer need to declare that you are chosen. Your consistency proves it. You have become the evidence of divine preparation fulfilled. The same patience that once kept you waiting now keeps you balanced. The same humility that once made you question your worth now anchors your influence. Everything that once confused you now serves you. From this perspective, success no longer feels like a rival. It feels like responsibility, a quiet invitation to use what you have built to create stability for others. You begin to see leadership not as elevation, but as stewardship. You carry your progress with grace, understanding that every platform is temporary unless it serves a purpose greater than itself. You recognize that legacy is not defined by recognition, but by impact, by how many lives are steadied because you chose to walk with integrity. Your days start to move in harmony. The same discipline that sustained you in silence now sustains you in success. You operate from peace, not performance. You rest in the knowing that what is meant for you cannot be stolen, and what passes you by was never yours to carry. The anxiety to control outcomes fades. You simply continue to build, trust, and adjust, confident that divine timing continues to weave everything together behind the scenes. This is the maturity of the chosen: to live without panic, to act without haste, and to serve without ego. You have discovered that true mastery is not about perfection, but about balance, the ability to remain steady in both praise and challenge. You embody what you once sought: calm power, guided action, enduring faith. The lessons have become lifestyle. In this quiet conclusion, you come to understand that destiny is not a single event. It is an ongoing alignment. Every decision you make from here will either sustain or scatter the peace you have earned. The future is not something to chase. It is something to host. You are no longer waiting for divine timing. You are living within it. The rhythm of your days has become the rhythm of purpose itself. So, chosen one, as you continue onward, carry this awareness gently but firmly. Your calm is now your protection. Your clarity is your compass, and your consistency is your offering. The universe responds to alignment, and you are now fully aligned. The journey that began with uncertainty has brought you to a place of grounded assurance. You walk forward not as someone hoping for timing to favor you, but as someone who understands that you have become timing's partner. You are no longer waiting for the moment. You are the moment. Every step you take, every choice you make, becomes part of the divine orchestration that moves not just your life, but the lives you touch. This is what readiness looks like. Not urgency, but quiet precision. Not fear, but faith made practical. Not noise, but the sound of destiny fulfilled in silence. And so, as one chapter closes and another begins, remember that divine timing has never been random. It has always been exact. Every delay, every detour, every season of stillness was crafted to prepare you for this ease, this understanding, this stewardship. You are living proof that patience, when coupled with faith and consistent action, leads not to stagnation, but to mastery. Stand in that awareness. Move Move with that grace. Let your peace speak louder than your plans, for in the still rhythm of your present moment, destiny is already unfolding, quietly, perfectly, and right on time.